Imagine walking into a room filled with successful people, CEOs, entrepreneurs, lawyers, investors, athletes, celebrities. Now imagine asking them one simple question: Mercedes or BMW? What sounds like an ordinary choice quickly turns into a heated debate, because for decades, these two brands have been fighting one of the most fascinating battles in business history: a battle for prestige, a battle for performance, a battle for loyalty, and most importantly, a battle for status. Today, Mercedes-Benz and BMW dominate roads across the world. Both are symbols of success. Both represent luxury. Both command respect. Yet, their philosophies could not be more different. One believes luxury should feel effortless. The other believes luxury should be exciting. One sells comfort. The other sells control. One wants you sitting back and relaxing. The other wants you gripping the steering wheel. And this difference has created a rivalry that has lasted for generations. A rivalry so powerful that some customers stay loyal for life. But here is the surprising part. This war was never really about cars. It was about identity. Because when someone chooses Mercedes or BMW, they are not just choosing a vehicle. They are choosing what kind of success they want the world to see. And once you understand that, you will never look at these brands the same way again. Long before luxury SUVs, massive showrooms, or social media influencers reviewing exotic vehicles, two companies were quietly laying the foundation for a global empire. Mercedes-Benz came first, and it came with something incredibly important: history. In many ways, Mercedes helped create the modern automobile itself. The company traces its roots back to pioneers who transformed transportation forever. That early advantage gave Mercedes something money cannot easily buy: credibility. For decades, Mercedes represented engineering excellence. World leaders trusted it, royal families admired it, and business elites drove it. Owning a Mercedes was not simply about transportation. It was about joining a legacy that stretched back to the very origins of the automobile. Then there was BMW, a company with a very different story. BMW was not born in luxury or prestige. It was born in survival. Originally focused on aircraft engines, BMW faced enormous challenges throughout its early history. There were moments when the company could have disappeared completely, yet somehow it survived. Survival shaped BMW's personality. While Mercedes focused on tradition, BMW focused on evolution. While Mercedes celebrated history, BMW embraced ambition. These differences would eventually define the brands forever. One became associated with established success, while the other became associated with achieving success. And customers noticed even if they could not always explain why. Most people think luxury brands compete through features like bigger screens, more horsepower, or better technology. But the real battle happens inside the customer's mind, because luxury is emotional, not logical. Think about it. A person does not need a luxury vehicle to travel. A basic car can do that. People buy luxury because of how it makes them feel. Mercedes understood this earlier than almost anyone, selling confidence. The moment you entered the cabin, everything felt calm, controlled, and sophisticated. The message was clear: you have arrived. BMW took a completely different approach by selling ambition, energy, momentum, and achievement. Its vehicles encourage people to drive, engage, and participate. The message was different: you are still climbing, winning, and moving forward. Neither philosophy was wrong, but they attracted entirely different personalities, creating an incredibly powerful divide. Customers began identifying deeply with their chosen brands. Mercedes owners often saw BMW drivers as aggressive, while BMW drivers often saw Mercedes owners as conservative. Those stereotypes were not always true, but they helped fuel a rivalry. And once a rivalry becomes emotional, it becomes very difficult to break. For years, both companies enjoyed massive success, but America changed the game. The United States represented an extraordinary scale with millions of customers, massive wealth, and huge opportunities. The brand that won America could dominate the world. Mercedes entered with its reputation already established in luxury, prestige, and elegance. BMW arrived with a challenge. The company needed to stand out and build an identity. Then came one of the most brilliant marketing campaigns in automotive history, the ultimate driving machine. 4 words. That is all it took to change BMW forever. The slogan did not talk about luxury, technology, or prestige. It talked about the experience. Customers loved it, especially younger professionals who wanted success but also craved excitement. They were not interested in simply arriving. They wanted the journey itself to matter. Suddenly, BMW was growing rapidly, and Mercedes noticed for the first time a serious challenger had arrived, one capable of stealing customers, changing perceptions, and winning. What happened next transformed a standard competition into a full-scale war. At first, the competition was respectful. Both brands focused on their strengths, respected their histories, and attracted loyal customers. But markets evolve, competition intensifies, and eventually boundaries disappear. Mercedes started building more driver-focused vehicles, while BMW started improving comfort and luxury. Each brand slowly moved closer to the other's territory. That is when things became interesting because customers faced a difficult question. If both brands offer luxury and performance, which one should you choose? The answer depended less on specifications and more on personality. The choice became emotional, personal, and even tribal. People did not just buy Mercedes, they became Mercedes people. People did not just buy BMW, they became BMW people. Once that happened, the rivalry became larger than the products themselves, turning into a battle of identities that continues to this day. But the most intense phase of the war was still ahead, as both companies were about to enter an arms race unlike anything the luxury automotive world had ever seen. By the late 1980s and early 1990s, something fascinating was happening. Mercedes and BMW were no longer simply building luxury cars. They were building direct responses to each other. Every new vehicle launch seemed to carry a hidden message. Every innovation felt like a challenge, and every improvement felt like a warning. The rivalry had entered a completely new phase. Now, neither company wanted to merely succeed. They wanted to win. Winning meant taking customers away from the competitor. For executives inside both companies, market share was not just a number. It was a scoreboard. Every percentage point, every customer, and every comparison mattered. The battle was becoming intensely personal, and nowhere was that more obvious than in performance vehicles. For years, Mercedes had been associated with refinement and prestige, while BMW had been associated with driving excitement. But customers increasingly wanted both: luxury and performance, comfort and speed, elegance and power. The company that successfully combined all three would gain a massive advantage. So began one of the greatest performance rivalries in automotive history. If Mercedes versus BMW was a war, then AMG versus M became its most brutal battlefield, because this was about proving superiority, not practicality. BMW's M division had already built a reputation among enthusiasts. Vehicles like the M3 and M5 became icons that drivers loved, journalists praised, and fans worshipped. BMW had created a powerful emotional connection. People did not just admire M cars, they dreamed about them. Then Mercedes responded with AMG. Originally an independent tuner known for transforming Mercedes vehicles into high-performance machines, AMG quickly became an official force of its own. What made AMG dangerous was its unique personality. While BMW M focused on precision, AMG focused on drama. BMW wanted perfect balance. AMG wanted overwhelming power. BMW felt like a surgical instrument, while AMG felt like controlled chaos. Both approaches worked, attracting passionate but different personalities. BMW M appealed to drivers who wanted mastery, while AMG appeals to drivers who wanted dominance. This difference created endless debate. Car enthusiasts argued for years over which was better. the precise handling of a BMW or the brutal power of an AMG. Forums exploded with arguments, reviews compared every detail, and owners defended their choices relentlessly. Deep down, these cars represented identity, and people rarely enjoy having their identity challenged. The rivalry grew stronger, the competition became fiercer, and customers benefited from every second of it. Each brand kept pushing harder, building faster, designing smarter, and innovating relentlessly. Neither side could afford to stand still, and the results changed the luxury car industry forever. Then came a challenge neither company could ignore: SUVs. At first, many luxury purists hated the idea, believing luxury brands were supposed to stick to elegant sedans with long hoods and refined proportions. But consumers wanted something different. They wanted space, practicality, visibility, comfort, and most importantly, they wanted luxury in an SUV form. BMW moved aggressively, and the X5 changed everything. At the time, many people questioned the decision, wondering if customers would actually want a luxury SUV from BMW. The answer arrived quickly: yes. The X5 became a massive success. Customers, families, and executives loved it, especially in America. Suddenly, BMW had discovered an entirely new source of growth. Mercedes could not ignore this, and soon expanded its own SUV lineup. Once again, the battle intensified. Now the rivalry expanded into nearly every major automotive category, including luxury SUVs, performance SUVs, family vehicles, and executive transportation. The war was everywhere, and both brands were making billions because of it. Yet, there was another battle happening beneath the surface, a battle for perception. In the luxury world, perception is everything. Here's something most people do not realize. Mercedes and BMW are not really selling cars. They are selling stories. They sell stories about success, achievement, and who customers believe they are or want to become. Think about a young entrepreneur. After years of hard work, their business finally succeeds, and they want a reward. It is not because they need basic transportation, but because they want something that reflects their accomplishment. This is where luxury brands become powerful, turning the vehicle into a physical symbol of progress. Mercedes and BMW both understood this, but each told a different story. Mercedes told customers, "You have made it," while BMW told them, "You are just getting started." That subtle difference shaped millions of buying decisions. Some people wanted stability, while others wanted momentum. Some wanted prestige, while others wanted excitement. Neither choice was wrong, but understanding these emotions helped both companies build incredibly loyal customer bases. Once a customer connects emotionally with a brand, switching becomes very difficult. Generations of families became Mercedes loyalists, while generations of drivers became BMW enthusiasts, passing the rivalry from one generation to the next like sports team loyalty. Loyalty is one of the most valuable assets any brand can possess. For decades, people believed Mercedes was the luxury choice, and BMW was the performance choice. It was simple and easy to understand. But over time, the gap started shrinking. BMW became more luxurious, and Mercedes became more dynamic. Modern BMWs became quieter, more comfortable, and more refined, while modern Mercedes vehicles became sharper, faster, and more engaging. Suddenly, customers found themselves facing a difficult decision because both brands offered similar advantages: advanced technology, luxury interiors, and performance options. Choosing became harder than ever, making branding even more important. When products become similar, perception decides everything. Who do you trust? Who represents your values? Who reflects your personality? Those questions became increasingly important, and both companies invested billions trying to influence the answers. But a new threat was approaching, a threat that neither Mercedes nor BMW had faced before. It was a company that was not interested in their history, traditions, or playing by the old rules. Its name was Tesla, and it was about to force both luxury giants into a completely new battle. For years, Mercedes and BMW focused on competing with each other. Then suddenly, they had a bigger problem: technology. Electric vehicles, software, artificial intelligence, and autonomous driving were changing the rules fast. Customers who once compared horsepower now compared battery range, and those who once discussed engines now discuss software updates. The industry was evolving, and both brands needed to evolve with it. The question was no longer simply Mercedes or BMW. The question became, can either of them maintain their dominance in a completely new era? The future was arriving whether they were ready or not, and the next chapter of this rivalry could become the most important one yet, determining which brand leads luxury transportation for the next generation. What happens next may surprise even the most loyal Mercedes and BMW fans. For decades, Mercedes and BMW knew exactly how to compete, build better engines, create better handling, develop better luxury, and improve performance. The formula was clear. Then, almost overnight, the automotive industry entered its biggest transformation in more than a century: the electric revolution. Suddenly, the advantages that had taken decades to build became less certain. For years, engineers obsessed over engines, focusing on the sound, the response, the power delivery, and the character. These elements defined luxury performance. Now, customers were asking completely different questions. How far can it travel? How fast can it charge? How good is the software? How advanced is the technology? The battlefield had changed, and both BMW and Mercedes were forced to adapt fast. For the first time in generations, they were not just competing with each other. They were competing against the future, and the future does not care about tradition. It only cares about innovation. Mercedes responded aggressively with massive investments, new electric platforms, advanced technology, and futuristic interiors. The company wanted to prove that luxury could still exist in an electric world. BMW took a slightly different path. Rather than abandoning its identity, BMW focused on preserving it. The company wanted electric vehicles that still felt like BMWs, engaging, exciting, and enjoyable to drive. Both strategies made sense and had distinct strengths, allowing the rivalry to continue. Only this time, the war was not being fought with V8 engines. It was being fought with batteries, software, and artificial intelligence. Let us answer a question millions of people ask: why do successful people buy Mercedes? The answer has very little to do with specifications, because success changes priorities. When people first begin making money, they often seek excitement, recognition, attention, and validation. But after years of success, priorities evolve. Many wealthy individuals begin valuing comfort above everything else, making comfort the ultimate luxury. A Mercedes delivers that feeling exceptionally well. The moment you sit inside, the vehicle communicates calmness. Everything feels deliberate, refined, sophisticated, and effortless. The experience is not designed to excite you. It is designed to relax you. That is exactly why executives, business leaders, politicians, and high-level professionals often gravitate toward Mercedes. The vehicle becomes a sanctuary, a quiet escape from the chaos of everyday life. It tells the world, "I have already won." That message resonates with many successful individuals, especially those who no longer feel the need to prove anything. But not everyone thinks that way, and that is where BMW enters the conversation. BMW speaks to a different kind of success, focusing not on the destination, but on the journey. The brand appeals to people who still enjoy the chase and the process of achieving. People who see success as something active rather than passive. A BMW asks you to participate, drive, engage, and enjoy the experience. That philosophy attracts ambitious personalities, founders, entrepreneurs, athletes, and high performers who enjoy being involved. The steering feels sharper, the experience feels more connected, and the vehicle encourages interaction. For many successful people, that is exactly what they want, not because they are trying to show off, but because they genuinely enjoy driving. BMW tells the world, "I am still moving forward," and for millions of customers, that is an incredibly powerful message. This is why the rivalry remains so strong. Neither brand is objectively better. They simply appeal to different mindsets, lifestyles, and definitions of success. That is what makes this battle so fascinating. This question appears constantly. Mercedes or BMW? Who is winning? The truth is more complicated than most people realize because winning depends on what you measure. Is it sales, technology, brand perception, profit, performance, or luxury? Different metrics produce different answers. Some years Mercedes leads, while other years BMW takes the crown. The lead changes, the market evolves, and consumer preferences shift. Yet despite decades of fierce competition, something remarkable has happened. Both companies continue growing, both remain highly respected, both continue attracting loyal customers, and both continue influencing the entire automotive industry. Perhaps that is because the rivalry itself creates value. Each company pushes the other to improve, forces the other to innovate, and prevents the competitor from becoming complacent. Without Mercedes, BMW might never have become what it is today. Without BMW, Mercedes might never have evolved as aggressively. The rivalry benefits everyone, especially customers, because every new generation of vehicles becomes better than the last. That is exactly what competition is supposed to do. Here is the secret most people miss.